Hey everyone, Aaron here. Welcome back to another anime review. Today, we look at Big Order Episode 6. Now, also, I apologize, my voice is kind of crackly. It's really early in the morning. Well, it's not super early in the morning, but I just woke up like maybe an hour ago. But anyways, Big Order, I want to say, if anything, has shown that creativity can be both a great thing and also a scary, scary thing. One thing that I liked about Big Order initially, and I still kind of like, is that it's trying to do something very different with the material it's being given. Like, I mean, in the sense that you have a almost run-of-the-mill story if you think about it, and what it's doing with this is trying to make it creative, interesting, it's trying to make it comical, it's trying to do a lot of different things. But the problem with that is that, like other anime like Myoga, which is something I'll mention with this, it has like an identity crisis where it doesn't know which genre it's trying to stick with. And that is one of my biggest issues with Big Order, is that it hasn't found that sticking point yet. And the problem with that is that this is episode 6, we're at episode 10 is the series end. So that means we have, what, 3 episodes left technically? 7, 8, 9, excuse me, 4 episodes left? I apologize, my math is terrible in the morning. We have 4 episodes left now to find out what's going on fully, and to kind of get some steam on an actual, I want to say actual plot that's focused on what it's focusing on, more so than just kind of doing these, I don't want to say filler episodes, but more so less seemingly important when they are important episodes. And that's the one thing I'm going to talk about with this episode, is that it's hard to describe an episode like this because of what it is essentially, and I'll go into that in a couple minutes. Let's go over the overview of this whole episode. So we found out Io, actually, when she was pregnant, that was actually only a divination of her being pregnant. Like, apparently that would be something that both AG and herself would go through. So she thought, okay, so that must mean that he's the one destined for me. And, you know, AG actually comically goes, oh, don't worry, I'll never get you pregnant at one point. And she gets so disheartened from that. She feels so bad. But really nothing else happens per se of interest until, you know, they end up getting attacked in a tunnel by an unknown assailant. And when they're actually relaxing and trying to get their clothes dry and all that, they are then hit with, you know, he keeps mentioning Rin, and he keeps going, oh, Rin this and Rin that. And she really, really gets upset by that, and she flips out and stuff like that. Even shows her naked body. I'm not showing that image, because it was censored, but it's still, I'm not going to show it regardless. But she shows her naked body to him, and, you know, lo and behold, it's like, oh, I really want you, AG. Why can't you show that affection toward me too? Now comes in our actual attacker, and this is the girl or the person that they were actually looking for in terms of saving Senna, you know, AG's sister. She has the ability, apparently, of vitality, so that means that she can bring and give life to people, and maybe that could solve Senna's issue. Now, she doesn't want to help AG, though, right away. She tells AG that she refuses to help him, and the only way she will do it is if he wins a game called Kemari, which essentially is a kind of, it looks like essentially them just throwing a ball around, and he has to use, without his order, mind you, he can only use his order for himself, but he can't use it to stop the ball. He has to get the ball from them. Now, I'll tell you right now, there's a really kind of funny scenes between, like, the several characters of them trying to get the ball, and you see that Io and AG actually become closer at that point. But what actually is more important and I think relevant is then we have another person that comes in after AG and Io's victory. A person that's another order comes in and says that he's after, I forgot her, I can't pronounce her actual name, so he's after the girl's life, who's the one who has the Order of Vitality, and he's gonna go kill her. Now, luckily, again, Io and AG actually have teamed up and actually are able to fuse their orders together to make this order, which is actually pretty cool. Actually, I like the design of it. It reminds me of something from like an older anime. And they're able to defeat the marine guy with some of the stupidest attack ever. I think it was, the last attack was fish attack, which literally was a bunch of fish hitting the guy in the water. Don't ask me. Anyways, it finally ends up ending essentially with 2 things. One being that Daisy, we learn, the weird kind of floating girl all the time, is actually able to reveal and give information about other orders if you ask her for that. So AG didn't know this, and apparently the group that's called SP16 is actually after them, and of course they have Rin, and Rin is apparently still able to think, and she knows that Eiji is after her, and blah blah blah. She knows that that's going on, and she knows that she's not fully controlled, but they don't realize that yet. But what Daisy allows her to do is it actually allows them to connect with them and unleash an attack via one of the orders using a thing called Dimension Blade, which looks like it cuts our heroes in half. It looks like we might have our heroes being dead. I don't think so, because that'd be weird. Have all the main characters die this early? That's kind of weird. But anyways, the whole point, and it's kind of like the way I was reviewing it seemed kind of disorientated, right? It's the point I'm trying to get at is that this show is just all over the place. At times it's comedic, at times it's overly serious, at times it's downright disturbing. Like, I still can't forget what happened last episode, and I'm not going to talk about it again, but if you want, go check out my episode 5 review if you haven't seen that. I talk about it there in detail to some point. But it really has an identity crisis, and that's a problem with the show that's only 10 episodes, because it has to show that it has something worthwhile watching-wise, plot-wise. The plot of this is not, so far-fetched that you can't realize it, you can't realize what's going on. It's just that right now, it feels like episodes leading into the plot, even though they are related to the plot, feel like filler. And that's odd to me. That's also kind of not a good thing. A show that only has 10 episodes should feel like a 10-episode show. It should have, I don't want to say a rushed plot, but more so a plot that's focused, that you understand what's going on fully, that you have, not so many jokes thrown in unless it's a comedy show, but it feels like the show's everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And that's my biggest issue with Big Order. Now, do I hate Big Order? No, not by any means. I think it's probably one of the worst shows of the season so far. But that's not saying much per se either. Honestly, it's still not a bad show in the sense that I would not recommend watching it. I'd say, hey, watch it. It's pretty interesting. I love the animation for it. I love various things about it. I just feel that I wish it was just a little bit more structured and it had a little bit more of a stronger plot. But overall, though, I would highly recommend, checking out the first several episodes, but definitely check out the first several episodes. I tell people, not to always just drop a series after the first few. But by episode 4, you'll know if you want to stick with the show. That's honestly how I think most people have felt about the show, and it's true, because it's, again, a 10-episode show, so getting to episode 4 is almost getting to the halfway point. And I'll say right now, Big Order is hard-pressed to make me want to keep watching it, but I am going to keep watching it, because I will always do that with a show like this. I do want to support it any way I can, so I definitely recommend checking it out. But, it's just, I just wish it was a little bit better, that's all. Honestly, I'm not going to rant and rave about it. I'm not going to say it's horrible or anything like that. I'm just going to say right now it could be a lot better, and it's not, unfortunately. Anyways, guys and girls, that's it for today's review. I'm going to have a Kids Night review up today too, so that'll be out probably in a few hours when it actually releases. I'm going to try to get up as soon as possible. So, because I'm trying to catch up with certain shows, and I'm awake now, so might as well. Anyways, guys and girls, though, have a great day. Please like, comment, subscribe, share the video, whatever you want to do. I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.